Today on Call of Duty Wasp Edition. Where'd you guys go? Well, well, well. It isn't a wasp. Come here, man. Hey, bro. I want to talk to you for a minute. Oh, man. Oh, man. Sucks to be you, bro. Oh, man. How perilous life can be. Any more of you guys out here want to die? Oh, there's another one. Oh, you okay, man? Let me help you there. So I have my Ryobi 1 Plus USB adapter plugged into a little, it's either 2 amp hour battery. USB's plugged into my Alexa, so it's on. And then we have it plugged into my old Ryobi radio, which actually has a cord on it. The newer ones are Bluetooth. So really cool stuff. And now I can go, Alexa, play songs by Jackson Browne.
Shuffling songs by Jackson Browne.
Sweet.
On Amazon
Let's
Music.
try it again. You ready? Say. All right. Look at that. Yeah. I know. All right. Come on. Get down. Ready? You do it. You jump. You didn't leave the ground again. Hold on. Ready? Say jump. Not quite. I'm not turn the light off. All right, let's see. All right, we have a light that's on. And now let's say off. Lights are off. Now look at Dada. Say on. Oh, look at that. Okay, come on now. You just gonna fall off the chair? That's how we get down? Okay, let's come. Man, what a crazy. This is me when I've been told to look at the big picture and not try to predetermine what's going on with an HVAC system. The unit's making a buzzing noise, so it must be a run capacitor failure causing the compressor to buzz when it tries to start, or I guess it could be a blower motor not being able to start, or it could be just a contactor buzzing. It's probably a contactor buzzing. Soccer one?
Now the object of the day is to put the bag in the hole.
Actually, you done pretty good too. Well, hello guys, and welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk. Hope you guys, hey, Bemko, I hope you're enjoying the lag now, so you can hear two different things happening 8 seconds apart. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Hey, that's for the best, actually. Hello, everybody. I have my chat way over here now, so it's going to be, I have like third screen. Let me tell you about the technology we have here at Shop Talk. So we have monitors of 3 different sizes. Basically, this is like if there was like a scratch and dent monitor sale or something, I would just scoop up 3 random things and plug them together with 5 different types of connections. I have like a laptop. I have like a real legitimate computer monitor like right here. But over here is like a 10-year-old flat screen television. It's about the most redneck thing you could possibly imagine. But I love it. I really do. I love it a lot. And, you know, I think Frylock's actually in the chat. Hey, you know, I forgot that he is a member. Man, that's great, Frylock. You're a member. I really appreciate that. That's not why you got this interview, but I appreciate it. You can tell that I forgot, actually, by me, talking like that. Rich, what's up, Alexander? Old Handy Luke, Dizzy, Dallas, Chris, I am Santa Forsyth. And who else? We have Samuel. Luke, I think I said already. We have Curtis Bowers. I'm heading your way. Next week, I'm going to Virginia. I'm going to meet Curtis Bowers in person. I'm very excited. It's like Christmas. Also, HVAC, Dragon, Adam Heisch, and Greg Meadows. Greg won our prize last week, the multiple Klein tools. Greg, they are in the mail as of today, so you should be receiving those in a few days. So enjoy. Okay. Yes, Bemko saying he was playing Rocket League when he got on. He definitely was. He won like 20-0. I'm just going to say that right now. His team won. He beat them badly. I'm just going to put it like that. I'm going to also close our poll we had up in the live chat here. Let me see. I asked how long have you guys been in HVAC, and you responded 65% 11 and over. So I'm getting like veterans in here. I knew that from you guys in the chat. I knew you were veterans. So I'm going to end that poll. Everyone else was like 20% 1 to 5 and 15% 6 to 10. So that poll is going to close. I just like to use that feature because when YouTube has a feature, let's just use the crap out of it. Like the stories and shorts they've created. If you guys have noticed, YouTube has stories and shorts. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. And I've been on YouTube for a long time, and I try to do all that stuff now. In fact, let me tell you about the social medias that I have now embarked on. I call it swimming with the devil because, of course, I'm on Facebook because you have to be on Facebook to like, hey, watch my podcast, listen to whatever. Then TikTok. I went on TikTok, and there's an HVAC community on TikTok, but it is 94% crap. I can go ahead and tell you that. So that's not a good selling point for going to follow us on TikTok. But if you are on TikTok and you're not leaving, go ahead and follow us. Instagram, I like Instagram. Instagram's a nice place. No problems there. I like Instagram. We're on Rumble. That's right. We're on Rumble. Me and Juan Valdivinos make up the entire HVAC community on Rumble. So if you want to go over there and watch the videos there, it's the same videos you're watching here. But if you don't like YouTube for some political reason or whatever, you're not watching this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you can go watch on Rumble. And, of course, we have a podcast here. That's where this whole thing really, the core of this whole thing is HVAC Shop Talk Podcast. You can listen to us on Apple devices, Android devices. You can stand outside my window and listen while I record it live, however you want to listen. We got some new chairs out there, some rocking chairs. As Bemko knows, who's our guest tonight, Michael Bemko is our guest. I told him I was staining the deck. It is 99% finished, except for one spot that we kind of stripped down because there was like some kind of weird sap coming up. We stripped all that crap off, so there's like a 6-inch by 2-foot section of like bare wood. The rest of it's perfectly stained. Maybe not perfectly, but it's stained. We stained it. Rich GT350R over there in the chat says he's been in the trade for 40-plus years. Good grief, 40 years. Your knees must be trashed, Rich. They must be. And we have a new company in the chat. I can't pronounce that. Boracua? I'm not sure. Welcome to the show. If you're a new person that just found us, I really like that you're watching the show here. That's great. And I think that's about all for our chat people. Now they're going back. Yeah, Instagram's good. We all like Instagram, right? That's where you can find Michael Bemko, actually. We're going to talk about that because he is Frylock87 HVAC on Instagram. And I'll put that in the chat here in a second, too, once we're talking. Let me go ahead and go through my little thing here. I told you this is a podcast. Check. Told you about that TikTok thing. That's enter at your own risk there. If you want to support the channel, simplest thing you can do is put a like on the video if you like the video. You can also support by becoming a member, just like Bemko did. And you can also, let's see, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Okay. So I think that's all the stuff I had to do for our little housekeeping section. Okay, I'm going to take a quick little break right here. And when we come back, Mike will be with me, and we're going to talk HVAC. We're going to get to know him. Those of you who probably know him from Instagram or from the chat watching this show or other HVAC streams, but we're going to get to know even more about him after this message right here. Refrigeration Technologies make some of the best HVAC chemicals around, and that includes wet rag heat blocking putty that prevents your vital system components from being damaged while you're brazing. Also, there's Nylog, gasket and thread sealant, a variety of uses including sealing up flares, gaskets, and other HVAC joints and connections. Last but not least, there's Viper Aerosol Cleaner. I use it on evaporator coils. It foams up beautifully, does a great job cleaning. So if you need anything in the HVAC chemical arena, choose Refrigeration Technologies. You can find out more at refridgetech.com and purchase at truetechtools.com. Okay, without further ado, here is the man himself, Micheal Bemko. Micheal.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's good. How are you?
You know what? Another thing that I should do at the beginning of these shows is adjust the volume. You know what? That would have been great to do before the show started. Here I am adjusting the volume very discreetly.
I thought that's why we got on early.
That is why we got on early. I never did that while we were on there. That's okay. I was asking the question about how many years, but you don't have all that many years in the trade yet, have you?
No, I answered the poll incorrectly. I put 1 to 5, but I'm just over 5, going on 6 years. Yeah.
6 years. Well, you know what? Let's get out
in
those
October.
In October. Well, that's let's round up. It's like the kid's like 3.5. I'm 4 now, man. 4.7.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and go through all the stuff that you have to go through with the new guest. And that is, all right, you're Micheal Bemko. Do you go by Michael or Mike? Because I've been calling you Michael for a long time.
I mean, honestly, whatever usually the person feels comfortable with sounds the best, Some people it's Mike, some it's Michael, some it's Bemko. It just depends how they know me, I guess.
Well, I'm going to call you Bemko, all right?
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Call you Frylock. So your name on Instagram, and I'm going to bring up the screen over here. Your name on Instagram, let me get to your account here. I'll share the screen, is Frylock. Now, what is the deal with that? Why is your name Frylock?
I'm sure some people in the chat will know the character Frylock from it's from an Adult Swim TV show called Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Never seen that one.
Yeah, it's an off-the-wall show, man. But no, Frylock actually started from when Xbox Live first came out, like back in like Halo 2 days. And I was in high school. This is like 2004 or so. And that was the first gamer tag that I picked out, for what my name would be when I was playing online.
I gotcha.
Was Frylock. And I don't know, it just stuck for a long time.
So it's kind of like this kind of odd eclectic show that was it like a real popular thing?
It's a nice way to put it. I don't know that it was ever like that popular, but
I bet it was super popular.
It's an out there show. You should definitely watch it.
It's just like the people that watch like Futurama and say it's like the best show that was ever made.
No, I don't. Yeah. See,
I'm Bender 124. Now
yes,
tell me something.
In a similar way, yeah.
Are you not playing games right now? Are you?
Hands free.
Okay, I was just saying, like, I'm saying, I'm not going to mention he probably shouldn't play games during the interview. I wonder if he will play games during the interview because I wanted to see it. If you were, no, I said at the last part of it, we can bring like the second screen up and see how well you do at under pressure with people watching. What would it be like?
I don't know. It'd be like the most people I ever had watch my stream before. I've tried that and get like one person for like a minute, and they're like, "Yeah, this sucks."
What platform? YouTube?
Twitch.
Oh,
No,
Twitch.
on
Okay,
Twitch,
Twitch.
yeah.
Yeah. Most of them went over
it.
to Twitch. Yeah. All the streamers, because I used to work and watch some people streaming video games I didn't even play. For some reason, I was entertained by it, and they all went over to Twitch because I guess Twitch made them some kind of offer or changed the way they do things where it was very appealing for some reason. Not sure.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just not that entertaining by myself, so.
I don't know if that's it. We can. Hey, we'll
I'm
ask
sure
at the end
that's
of the
it.
show. We'll put a
I'm
poll.
sure
We'll put a
that's
poll
it.
at the end of the show. Was Bemko
Okay.
worth watching?
Okay.
Yes, no. It's very simple. All right. Well, let's get back to the HVAC stuff. We can come back to where you drop in Fortnite or whatever later.
Don't play Fortnite.
I was just testing you. Okay. All right. No, he plays Minecraft.
No.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Actually, I don't know. Some of these guys actually play stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
I know
Minecraft's
Alexander
cool.
does.
I don't hate on it, but I will hate on Fortnite very openly.
Well, we get back
It's
to
not
that.
fair. Yeah, people shoot at you, or you shoot at them, and they build a castle. What? No, it's not fair. I don't like it.
Okay, I saw footage from World War II, and there were soldiers going to Normandy Beach, and I was like, man, these guys need to build a ramp and get
Yeah.
in a 4x4 and get
Yeah,
up
and
there
then
and just
pull out
hold
the
up.
rocket launcher. Yeah,
Yeah, right on,
and then
man.
360 no scope this person in the head. It's done.
I think we understand how
Easy
war
win.
should be. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll tell Beaver. Beaver was actually in a war. So I was like, Beaver, this is what you should have done. You should have built a ramp, and don't build it out of wood. Build it out of metal, man. Metal's better,
Super strong.
Then you could edit it a window real quick and just get rid of it. Yeah. See how much I know about this game? I shouldn't know anything about
You know enough.
it. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Yeah, I've never beat it. I've been killed many a time. Well, again, we can save for the end of the show after the HVAC people go like, okay, now I'll talk games. We'll do that at the end. So you've been in the trade for 6 years. Now, what kind of work do you do?
Commercial service, comfort cooling. Don't mess
so
with
no refrigeration?
I mean, the only refrigeration I've ever done was we relocated some evaporators for like a produce storage warehouse, but not really anything as far as service goes.
Oh, nice. So you've been
that was an
serviced the
interesting
entire
deal.
time.
Yep.
Oh, that's like getting it right off the start. So, okay, so same company the whole time?
No, my first company I was there for a year and a half before I switched. And there was just kind of some culture things going on in the company, like didn't have the right people in there, and it took them too long to really notice, and a lot of people left because of one person type of deal. So when I got an offer,
follow-up questions on that culture things, that's just vague enough where I'm going to wonder what that means.
well, I know just enough details to keep it vague, probably.
Yeah,
well, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but when I got an offer to go, I was like, yeah, I'll take that. Because after my first year, when I started not knowing anything, I didn't go to trade school and nothing like that. My stepdad helped me get my foot in the door. And after my first year, finally starting to work my way into the on-call rotation and taking calls on my own, stuff like that, I got a 60-cent raise an hour. And then I got offered substantially more to jump ship one summer. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Now, how much is substantial? Because these guys, $5 an hour.
Yeah.
That is substantial. Good grief. Hey, just put that in perspective right here. Whenever I started in the trade, it was the mid-90s, and that's what my wage was, 5-something an hour. That was the whole thing. And I remember 40 hours was just under $170.
Oof.
So I was like, man, I am rich. And that's exactly what I thought, man. I was like 15 at the time. I was like, man, I can do anything I want as long as it's buy 3 DVDs. And that's what I did as soon as they came out, which was a couple years later, because at the time it was still VHS tapes. Man, I'm old, dude. That is bad.
We got a collection of VHS tapes still for the kids.
Well, I take it since your name is Frylock87, that is your birth year.
Yep.
Well,
I'll be 34 in October.
Wow, 34. 5 years. Okay, 6 years in the trade, it takes you back to 28. So what did you do before this?
Ooh, I did all kind of stuff, man. I used to do a lot of painting, like commercial painting. I've done, carpentry, site work, dirt work, excavating, stuff like that, landscaping, lots
Did you
of
operate
stuff.
Machinery?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fun.
It was fun.
So why stop?
Sometimes. Because I wasn't always the one getting to operate.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's sometimes you're the operator who digs a ditch with the machine. Sometimes you're with the
operate
shovel.
a shovel.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Can be. In
Yes,
Texas,
it can be.
It's generally very hot. So.
Oh, good point. Yes, it is rather warm in Texas. You're right. That would be awful. Yes, in the summertime, because you're always outside, and swinging a shovel in the heat is something they make prisoners do. So, yeah, I would not want to do that. I do want to remind our chat people, if you want to ask any questions, if you see my name up there, HVAC Shop Talk, just write at HVAC Shop Talk, and it appears like in big orange letters, which is super helpful. So do that, and I'll definitely see it. Okay, I just want to put that out there. So you were a ditch digger.
Yeah, basically.
That's the least dramatic way to say your job. And then you went into HVAC, and you've been there for 6 years. Okay, after 6 years, reflecting back, you staying
Really
there forever now?
I mean, probably. So, in some aspect, you know. I don't know that I'll just be a service tech forever. Ideally, no, but...
What do you want to do? What do you want to be?
I don't know, dude. Controls seems kind of appealing to me.
Why?
I don't know. A little bit less manual labor, and as far as the backbreaking side of things goes, but opportunity for a little bit better pay, I think. A little more knowledge.
For sure. Oh, yeah. You know, you work in commercial, so you're already exposed to building automation. So there should be some kind of... Is there a move in your company you can make into that sort of job?
Not currently. Probably not in San Antonio. So our main branch is in Austin, where, you know, there's a couple hundred people there. But in San Antonio, we're just a HVAC service, and I think there's 8 techs rolling around right now in San Antonio. We're looking to hire more, so if anyone applies, put my name down so I can get that referral bonus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I'll find you somebody.
But yeah, we don't really get you know, most companies or customers have their own controls contractors, you know, whether it be Trane or Siemens or whoever else, but generally we don't get to, you know, mess with the controls too much.
Now, back in Austin at the main branch, do they have controls there, like a group who does those?
Yeah.
So would you be willing to move to have your dream job, so to speak?
Maybe.
Now, how far are we talking, though? I mean, because I'm not familiar with how far San Antonio is from Austin.
I live in Canyon Lake, and San Antonio for me is about an hour one way. Austin's a little bit further. So, I mean, I already feel like I spend just too much time in the truck as it is. I mean, you figure I already lose like 2 hours a day minimum just driving. So I'd like to cut down on that ideally. But I'm also not too fond of moving. We kind of like this area where we live right now. So I don't know. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. Well, I'm not itching.
From what I understand, just in general about the culture of Texas, Austin is a little different than a lot of parts of Texas.
You can say that, but
yeah I mean, it's politically they're very different than the other parts of Texas. So
it's
some
growing
people
really fast.
It is growing really fast. The homeless population is growing really. I just read something about that. Yeah, I read that today. It's like Austin versus LA, the homeless population contest or something like that. I'm like, oh dear. Lots of people from LA that came over there and then they became.
They got a lot of big tech going in Austin too.
Yeah, Texas is
like a
huge
Tesla factory going up there.
Yeah.
I think there's a big new Apple plant going up there. So lots of stuff going on in that city all the time. Tons of high rises everywhere. There's a lot of work, a lot of opportunity.
That sounds like a good place to be then.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we've talked about, but I mean, God, there's a shit ton of people in that city too. I don't like people all that much.
Well, you know, you could always move outside of Austin. You know, we're not going to make you move to Austin.
True.
On Shop
I appreciate
Talk,
that.
You know. We don't do that here. We don't know how. So I'm sure there's a small town. I don't know, like 1 hour north of there. You could drive from every day. San Antonio is a pretty big city too, isn't it, man?
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. You don't want to be near all those homeless people. They look at you when you're walking by. You feel guilty. I understand. I know what you're talking about. So, I agree with you. Like you came up with that idea.
Calvin, can you go to your room, please?
Oh, look. Let's take a short break. Hey, we can talk about your family life.
There you go. It's good.
I was going to ask you. I mean, like the family is it 2 kids?
Yep. We got Calvin, the one who was upside down on the couch a second ago. He's just turned 7. And then Arthur is, I don't know where, but he's he'll be 2 in September. And then my other half, Grace, is hopefully with the 2-year-old.
So how long, and this was just me, if I'm prying too much, it's live, so you kind of have to answer it. I'm just kidding.
Open book, Zach.
How long have you been married?
We're not officially married, but we've been together for
I
almost
apologize,
9 years.
Bemko.
I thought we pre-gamed all this like a couple weeks ago.
Hey, you probably did, and it went out there. But the reason why, and it's that particular part of the question isn't integral for why I asked the question. I asked it to say, has she been with you throughout your whole HVAC career? Let me ask you that way. And
yeah.
Okay. So was she there before when you became a tech?
Yeah.
So what does she think about the life of HVAC techs? 'Cause a lot of times it's very taxing, and you said that yourself to me, you had long hours and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it comes in waves here anyways, at least for me. I know it's not like what I hear like a lot of reefer techs go through where it's just crazy hours all the time. I mean, mine's pretty regular, Monday through Friday. I'm gone, by 6 or 7 a.m. and I'm home by 5 or 6.
It's pretty good.
Don't typically work weekends unless, we're behind on work and it becomes available like, hey, overtime approved, who wants it? I'll usually raise my hand up for that. But in the on-call rotations, only like once about every 2 months now.
That's not bad.
So no, it's really not. We do Monday through Monday on the on-call.
How does it usually go? I mean, is it pretty busy where you're at?
It's really hit and miss, man. Sometimes I'll go 2 or 3 rotations and not have anything. And then sometimes you'll get, almost every day getting calls. We used to keep a backup tech on call in the summertime, just in case, if the primary gets kind of swamped, he can come in and help out, but we almost never had to use it. So we quit doing that.
Well, let me ask you, because you work on bigger stuff, do you often have techs that work together? Do you have pairs of techs, or do you just go out to stuff on your own and then acquire if needed?
So we've just recently kind of got like a couple of newer kind of greener guys. And a lot of times they'll kind of act as helpers on jobs, but otherwise, I mean, a lot of times we're by ourselves, unless it's like, a bigger repair where you need 2 guys, if it's to manhandle a compressor around or a part or, do something big. But yeah, a lot of times though, we're by ourselves.
So describe, what is something big as far as your world?
I mean, a compressor that's like maybe 7.5 ton and bigger, maybe 5 ton and bigger, depending where it's at. If it's on a roof, then yeah, we'll probably have 2 guys for anything 5 tons and above, just because roping up all that stuff, I mean, by yourself is a huge pain.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can attest to that.
Yeah,
the 2 guys sounds really good. The 1 5 ton I did on a roof in that environment, I definitely got help for it. Well, I got help after I tried to lift it up onto the roof myself. I was like, well, this isn't going to happen successfully in the long run because I'll be debilitated by it. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You finally get it up there and you're too beat down to actually do the repair. So
yeah, you're just laying on the ground sideways going, it's really not going to go farther than this today. I hope someone finds me up here eventually. Well, we have a question from Mike Hamby. He said, do you do chiller work?
A little bit. That's not something that's like that I get to see a whole lot of. I definitely want to see more of it. We do have some chillers that we work on, but not as much as I'd like. And it's not generally something I get sent on. We've got a senior tech who's more experienced with chillers, so he's generally the one that goes. I try and go help any chance I can, and he knows that I want to come help when I can. So if he has an opportunity to request help, he a lot of times will ask that I get sent along with him.
That's a good thing. So how many different categories of work are at your company? Now, like, are there specific sections that are like, these guys are commercial, these guys are, I know you said they don't have controls, but
we don't have an install crew, no PM crew, no strictly service crew, none of it. We're all service techs. Like I said, we have greener guys, so a lot of it, our dispatcher, she's really good at knowing who to send where, who can handle what, based on whether it's, whatever customer it is, she knows the sites pretty well. She knows which techs get along with that customer, which ones have been out there before, and all that good stuff. So she does a great job, in my opinion, of
That's a good thing.
of sorting that out. Yeah, no, we get along great. So guys, if you learn anything from tonight, be best friends with your dispatcher.
I've heard like the opposite, like several occasions. I don't know whether because negatives come up more often than positives, I think, but like dispatchers that have just like totally oblivious of what they should be doing, sending people out inappropriate times, like loading people down right at the end of the day. That's the only stories I hear. I don't know if it's just comedy or what.
If you're dispatcher's best friend, I mean, when it's 5 o'clock and a call rolls in and you're on your way home, she's probably not going to call you.
That's true. I like that. I like that. How do you become a dispatcher's friend? Find out what she eats. Bring her that food. Maybe that'll do it.
It's fairly simple.
Yeah, that's easy. Now, what else are you going to do? I bought you flowers. This is inappropriate. Oh, sorry. Here's a burger, That'd be good. I'm looking down here because you sent me like some of the stuff I asked you, like a few questions. It was like a few months ago.
Oh, God.
Oh, do you remember any of them?
No.
Oh, that's perfect. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. It's really simple stuff because he says like, what are your weaknesses? You said punctuality.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Punctuality.
Another reason why I don't want to work at it anywhere in Austin yet. I live too far away. It's hard enough getting to San Antonio on time, man. Yeah,
it's a struggle.
It's just something I've always struggled with, like my whole life. No matter what job, no matter what age, it's always been hard.
Has it ever come back to bite you at work? Because you can like do a great job, but like punctuality, a lot of people have that as like a pet peeve. If you're like 5 minutes late, they hate it.
Well, it's supposed to be the easiest thing to do, right? You just show up. That's 90% of the job, isn't it?
But you got kids,
motivational
so
poster somewhere.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right, when they get me out of tons of stuff, but when you show up at like 10 o'clock to a crane pick that was scheduled for 8:15, that doesn't look good no matter what the excuse is.
Is that how late it was? I mean, is it like that big of a chunk of time?
That has happened.
Alexander wants me to ask you about the ticks, and he goes, "LOL." Is there some kind of ongoing thing I'm not aware of? What is it?
I never heard him called that before either, but you know what a barred unit is, right? It's a wall mount package unit. Yeah, Alex calls them ticks.
Calls them ticks. Why? Because they're sucking on the building?
Yeah, they stuck on the wall. Yeah,
like absolutely. I can understand that completely. That's exactly what they look like. And you know what? When it comes to those barred units, you always see them. Like you go to like your kid's school and you see them on like little mobile classrooms. Like, easy to service. It's right there. Every time I've ever been called for a barred unit, it's been like 15 foot up in the air. Really? Every single time.
But once you get to it, they're really not that bad. Now that I've worked on tons of them, like they're easy.
No, they aren't. They're pretty simple. The ones I saw were older, so I guess they're probably even simpler than probably the ones you worked on.
They haven't changed much.
Well, that's good because they were really easy. Like a little compartment for the controls right there in the middle. It's like, this is nice. Compressor and everything's right there at the bottom. So,
and I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, condenser fan motor.
Yeah, I saw some of those out there.
So many times.
Most common problem. Do you service a lot of like mobile sites like that have those?
No, but a lot of those oil field sites that I do have barred units, or they have bigger versions. They're not bards, but in essence the same thing. They're just bigger
Super
package
bards.
units. Yeah, they're like 20 ton, 15 to 20 ton. Yeah.
So you say oil fields. Describe that work environment. What exactly are you doing? When you say oil fields, are you out on a rig? What's going on?
No, it's it's a pipeline facility. At least most of these sites are, and they have what they call MCCs, which is where they keep the. They've got really big VFDs, the variable frequency drives for their oil pumps, in there. I mean, these drives are massive, and to keep those cool, they've got those big wall mount package units kind of surrounding the whole building. And so, we take care of those. If they lose one of them, it's not so bad. But if they drop 2 of those units, they'll generally trip a high temperature alarm, and the VFDs can start to throttle back because of thermal overload. Mm-hmm. So at that point, they start losing money and they start yelling. and I start driving.
Do you have to go check them periodically, or do they just call you
Mm-hmm.
whenever there's a situation?
We visit those sites about 3 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do an annual in the middle of summer, and yeah, space the other 2 out between the year.
It's interesting because it's almost like that is very similar to some of the residential stuff that I would work on or I have outside the house. You have like some kind of variable speed system that when it hits like a high temperature, let's say the heat sink is like full of crap or something. The dirt daubers, let's be very North Carolina here. The dirt daubers have built nests all over the heat sink. It goes into high temperature and it throttles back, just like you're talking about. You're just talking about like a very big version. I'm sure it's not exactly the same, but
Yeah, no, they're
sort of
they're
understand.
pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting work and critical work because when something
Yes.
goes wrong, I bet they are lit up, ready for you to arrive immediately.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's tough because they don't. Besides that high temperature alarm that doesn't go off until I don't know around 100 degrees inside there, they don't know if they're having any issues unless somebody walks through there, and nobody really walks through there. And even if they do, they don't. They're not HVAC guys. They don't really know what to look for, so they just see numbers on a thermostat and put their hand in front of it and like, oh, okay, yeah, it's blowing cold, we're good.
It's very
And, yeah.
simplistic, like homeowners. Yeah,
Which
I
they're
do
half
that.
right most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, you have a general sense of what's right or wrong, and I'm surprised that some place like that. And I'll ask you 2 questions about this. I'm surprised a place like that. I guess the first is a statement that they don't have like an on-site guy that works on their stuff. It seems like that would be a good idea. And in saying that, have you ever considered doing that sort of work where you work for a facility, just one facility, and troubleshoot their stuff and repair their stuff?
I mean, I've considered it, but I don't know that I'd want to be stuck going to the same
I know,
couple
yeah.
places like all the time. I like that aspect of what I do, being different places almost every day. I think the most I got stuck on one job site was for like a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and I didn't enjoy it. After 1 week, I'm kind of I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, no,
So-
I understand that completely. I like moving around too. I like going to different places. I like every day somewhere different and new. What'd you have to do that lasted 2 weeks that was service related?
No, that was at reefer job, moving those. I think they were 25-ton evaporators. We moved 10 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. I mean, do you find
That
do
was
you
all right.
feel like, because, when I say I went out and worked on a 3-ton Goodman, no pride comes with that at all. I mean, there's nothing there.
Do I
But
feel
when
like a
you go out,
boss saying
yeah,
that
do
I
you-
worked on a 300-ton
right.
package unit. Yeah,
do you
sometimes.
feel like this is awesome? Look what I can do.
Yeah, sometimes for sure. But
I think
mean,
that's cool to have that feeling. I
like-
mean, it's
yeah, it's it's not like we work on that stuff only or all the time, but yeah, we get to see that stuff. It's pretty neat.
well, when someone asks you like, "What do you do?" I would mention that stuff first. It's like, well, we work on this 300-ton IntelliPack, and I know the controls like the back of my hand, that sort of thing. And you're very confident. And then they come to your work, and you're like trying to fix the drink machine or something that day.
Cleaning a mini split blower wheel.
I saw that. That's one of the things I saw on Instagram. I'm gonna
Yeah.
bring that up because it's funny that you said that. Is that what you're referring to?
That was a pain. That was at one of those oil field sites, actually.
Oh, let me see if I can get this on the screen, on the YouTube screen. I think I can. Okay. Yeah, there it is.
I was
Yep.
asking people if they could tell what brand it was just because of how I had to get to the blower wheel. And there were a lot of people that did. I had you had to completely dismantle it. And it's a Fujitsu.
Fujitsu, man.
I'd
We used to
never
put a
had
bunch
to-
of those in.
I'd never had to clean a blower wheel on one of those before.
Man, so what do you feel like when you walk up to something like that? Now you work on this big stuff, and when you walk into something like that, what's your mindset? It's like, oh, this is going to be silly, or it's like, what is this thing?
I'll take it because it's a lot simpler.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
You
Taking
take
the
the
blower
wins
wheel.
when you can. Yeah.
Yeah, and look at that nice. What is that? A Weir screwdriver. You like
Yeah.
nice tools, do you?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Wait a
yeah.
second. Wait a second. Hold on.
Where's
I know.
that,
Oh,
where's
there
like
it
that
is.
next post or something?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up now. You'll see it on the screen in just a second. It's you got like Knipex, and Wera and all this great stuff here.
Oh yeah.
Man, where's all the cobalt tools, Aaron?
Yeah, I do still have my first socket set, the whole big mechanics socket set, with quarter, 3/8, and half-inch drive, everything. I've still got that thing rolling around in the truck.
Man, oh man.
Almost never break it out.
So, do you just always get turned on to the good stuff? I mean, you got veto bag, you got a bunch of good tools, like tools that are lifelong tools that you see like vets use because they've learned that the other ones break. I mean, how'd you get on this stuff?
Well, it makes it easy to know that you're the problem when you have the best tools and you still can't fix it. You're like, oh no, it's just me.
Yeah, well that happens.
With me, but no, I like having tools I can count on.
All right, let's just, since you mentioned it, what do you have like a gut check story where you walk up to something and just like totally kicks your butt?
Man, you should have let me think on that before we did all this. I don't know. I'm sure
it's spur of the moment. You'll find that a lot of questions on this show appear spur of the moment, even with planning, because I'll think of something. Hey,
okay.
I can go through a ton of my gut checks. Does that help? I can tell them for like an hour, and you can think.
No, I got you. I got one. I was on call and I had one. I went out on a Friday night, like 11 o'clock, I think. This call came in. It was at a emergency clinic. They had their main system was down. It's a big train system. I don't even know the tonnage on that thing. It's pretty good size, probably a 10, maybe 12 and a half ton, something like that. And it's a twin condenser. Well, one condenser, one circuit, tandem compressors.
Mm-hmm.
And it was tripped out. Anyway, train will tell you, hey, there's a problem, but I'm not going to tell you what that problem is. And so I'm trying to sort it out. I don't know. My brain was fried. And I don't know if you've ever talked to Blue on tech support, but those guys are really awesome. And
I remember now. We were talking about that.
I got on there and I got Brian. He's great. He does a lot of their Instagram videos, and we sat there just talking it out. And he's like, tell me this. He's like, what's the condenser coil look like? Is it microchannel? It's like, yeah. He's like, what's it look like? I was like, holy shit, man, this thing's filthy. He's like, okay, that sounds about right. And because the thing would start up and run for, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds and then it'd shut off, but I'd check pressure switch, everything's fine. Anyway, just a dumb moment, and clean the condenser coil thing worked fine. Put it back together. But he was so cool because he was like, well, hey man, no problem. If you need someone to talk to so you don't fall asleep on the way home, give me a call. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. Because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning at this time.
Wait a second. So they answer the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, or had the call been going for a while? Nah,
24 hours they answer.
So yeah, I used to make fun of Blue On because of the glide of their refrigerant was so big, and it was just me. So I think it's due that they get some love. So this is the opportunity here that I bring them the love through you. So, okay, so how often have you used them? Because that's a good story right there. It looks like they helped you out
a lot.
Now, how many times so you say a lot? How many times is a lot?
Okay, so like less than 10 probably. But
that's a lot. I mean, 10. If you called them 10 times, I'd say that was quite a few.
It's and every time it's been a good experience. They've done everything in their power to help.
Do you use their app too? The app with like looking stuff up?
Yeah, not so much that. As far as like the library and everything for the manuals,
the database.
Nah, I mean I'll just Google model and serial number to get that stuff. But I like to know that it's there. But they do have pretty good access to stuff like that. I remember calling them one time, looking at an LG, it was a multi-zone mini split condenser, and the guy was like, man, I can't find anything on it. We were trying to find the fault codes. They had LED flash codes, and it was after 5 o'clock, so LG tech support just didn't work after 5. But this guy stayed on the phone with me for like an hour trying to figure it out. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So I thought it was deserving that they had their moment there, because they helped you. I guess they're helping a lot of people out. I see them all over the place now.
Look how much health he has.
Good, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Say hi to everybody coming. Say hi. All right.
Don't be shy now. You came up here. Don't be shy.
Can you take it back to your room? Awesome.
Hey, here. We'll put him on screen. Hey, say hi to my son. Here's my son.
It looks a lot. Like
Yeah.
Calvin.
It says, when he walked up, I was like, hey, man, you guys get along hair-wise.
I really
Okay,
need to
okay.
get the monitor on
Okay,
so
Calvin, we'll talk about it a little bit,
outside.
please. All right.
Yeah, I really.
Oh, look, you know what? I actually think about this sort of thing when the show happens. I have, like, a break I can put in at any time. So, Bemko, I know you're over there solving problems. So if you ever say, let's take a break, I have stuff ready for that if you need
Okay, got you.
it. You just give me the word. We all got kids. We understand. If you have a live stream, a kid will walk up and go, where's the candy bars at, Dad? I'm on the live stream. Just tell me where the bars are, Dad. And they'll like fall on the floor and start screaming as loud as they can.
Yeah.
It's normal. Yeah.
He's all right. We got it sorted.
You should keep him. He's very cool. The hair's cool. Yeah, man.
I don't think I have a choice. But yeah.
Hey, wait a second. There's always a choice. In modern times, I mean, I'm sure there's options everywhere,
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's good enough.
I got weird all of a sudden. I don't know what the options are for losing your children. A Lifetime movie? I don't know. I don't know what the option is. Good grief. So,
Whoa.
way to go, Blue On. I mean, right? So, transition.
Blue on.
Yeah. Flex it out like this. It's like, yeah. Here's the look of it. It goes like, hey, Blue On. Great. Okay. Let's back to the show. All right. Go to stereotypical question 7.
All right.
Hey, look. Hey,
Yeah.
the dude's back. Look. Hey, if you don't look at him, maybe he'll just
I know.
walk away.
That's what I'm hoping.
All right. For people that listen to this as a podcast, Bemko's son has come up to him trying to show him some kind of cool tablet game. Bemko refuses to look at the tablet because he knows this. Like I said, I can take a break, dude. Do you want me to take a break for a second? We
Yeah,
can
take
come
a break
back?
for just a
Yeah,
minute.
we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. I'm going to pop you out, but you'll be right back. Okay. You know what? That happens. It's kind of funny, actually, because, it happens to all of us. It happens to me. People knock on my door. People ring bells. People hit the door stop behind me, but he's coming right back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a clip I was going to show you at the end of the show, but I don't have to now. I'll show it to you right now. A lot of you guys know that I have been building a new office, so here's a quick clip about where we're at with that, a little bit of a discussion, and then we'll see you back here in a few minutes, guys. So be right back. A lot of you guys have seen pictures of a new office that I'm building, and I'm actually standing in it right now. We're still midway through the process here. What I'm doing is I've got a couple nice big windows framed out, and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. I've been doing a little bit of electrical today. You can see there's a panel over there on the side, a little sub panel. It's going to come off my main panel, which actually you probably can see. Yep, it's right out there, main panel. So, just trying to get an office built. We have family need that I move out here and free up another bedroom. And it's a long story, and it's just it's a time when we're taking care of elderly relative, and it's time for her to have her own room, basically. She needs to have her own room. My daughter needs to have her own room, because as a lot of you guys know, when you get very old, you'll have issues, and you don't want to be in a room with a teenager, and the teenager doesn't need to be in a room with you. So I'm building this office with the quickness to try to get it ready so they can enjoy those separate rooms. And I'm taking for a quick little tour, and we'll update this a little bit later on. Like I said a moment ago, I'm gonna have a little sub panel right there, just a little 6-space panel coming off the main right out there, putting in some flower beds. We've been working overtime on just everything, basically trying to work from the early morning. Well, not too early because we stay up late. I do a lot of shop talk, podcast stuff late, so I don't wake up too early in the morning. Just doing some electrical work. Gonna put a little plug on the floor right there for right beneath my desk. Got a little piece of trim molding for a different project inside. 2 windows, so when I sit at my desk, which is going to be right here, I can look out and see Jackson playing or whoever's outside doing whatever, and it makes me really happy and excited, because it's kind of dull in a room with no windows trying to work. It's a little lifeless, but if I could see Jackson playing outside, I think I'd rather enjoy that. This is what we look like on the outside right here. Got some wrap on it, tar paper. The roof's finished. You see a little bit of drip edge and rake edge up there. I went to YouTube University for some of this stuff to fine-tune my underdeveloped skills. And roof's on, got a ridge vent up there. Gonna put some soffit vents here in the eaves so we can intake air into the soffit, and I'll make sure there's a channel it's not blocked by insulation. Get up there and get some air passing through there so we don't have that chimney effect that Eric Kaiser was talking about. In the back here, we're gonna have a mini split. It's actually already on the way, I think, or just about on the way. We'll see it when it gets here. I got a little outdoor receptacle right there I'm gonna put in, and there'll be a disconnect right there as well. The mini split can go inside on this right-hand wall, which my desk will be there. There's my little apparatus I work off of, and my desk will be right there in the middle. Mini split will be up high on this wall right here, so if I want bookshelves below it, there'll be plenty of room. 8-foot ceiling. Gonna put a little attic access, maybe a couple of them, maybe even like each corner, just to maximize the amount of storage space I have. It might look a little tacky, but it won't show up in the live stream, I guess, so that'll be all right. And I gotta think of a way to soundproof this bad boy without breaking the bank. I can't have a bunch of expensive treatments, it's just too much money, especially with all this work right here. And so maybe you guys can help me brainstorm. Soundproof, put a bunch of them little black squares on the wall. We're not doing that. I want something a little bit better than that. Maybe put some foam and wrap it in fabric and nail it to the wall in little squares, or like larger squares, like 2x4 or 4x4 or something, just to make it look better. Because I do want it to look good on the stream. I don't want it to look all junky and stuff. So that's where we're at, guys. I'll keep you apprised as we go through the project. Of course, this whole project was built with battery-powered tools, a lot of them Ryobi. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about those too. Even the chop saw, I bought an 18-volt chop saw. I have a table saw I just bought too. Haven't really used it for this project, but might end up using it when we're trimming out a little bit later on. So stay tuned for that, guys. So this is a new office build, and I'll keep you guys updated as it goes along. All right, we're back, and guess who else is back? Michael Bemko.
Yeah, not my kids.
So you really did get rid of your kids now?
Yeah, they're gone. Sold them on eBay.
You could probably do that. You can't buy guns on eBay, but children, yes.
They go very quickly.
Well, that was a little look at the new shop right there, guys. And, you know, Hamilton's asked me wafer lights. Appreciate that. He's asking about wafer lights, and I don't even know what wafer lights are. So I got to look that up. I don't even know. Man, I'll check it out, man. But it's been a lot of work. I'll tell you that much right there. But I love doing it. It's a lot of fun, too, actually. I'm weird. I enjoy stuff like that. Do you have hobbies besides gaming? I know you have gaming.
Yeah, I like to just started getting back into riding BMX again. Used to do that a lot when I was younger. And I kind of fell out of it for a while. But
that's a lot of fun. It's like old Joe Shearer over there till he got injured. He doesn't do it anymore, I don't think, but he injured his back.
Yeah,
I still love it.
That's kind of scares me a little bit sometimes, but you know,
34.
It's still fun just cruising around with the guys.
34. It's almost too late. You better hurry up and ride, man.
Use it or lose it.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. I was out the other day, and my son is on like track and field. That's like his thing. He plays soccer, so he has to exercise. He's been like really procrastinating about really getting in shape for the season. So I said, I'll go with you, man. I've been working out for like 6-7 months, where I would have, last year died on the trip, walking down the road. Now I run halfway down the road. So man, we were running stuff, really bonding. It was really great. And I came up to my other son. I was like, hey man, why don't you come with us? He's like, no, last time you won. It's like, that's right, I did. I felt fantastic. But it was a lot of fun, man. And I don't know, just doing stuff in the yard is my thing. I really enjoy doing stuff like that, just building. I'm a real homebody. I don't like going anywhere. It's really
I'm a homebody myself.
Yeah.
But not as much outside as I used to be. I don't know, when you work outside all week, like I come home, I don't really feel like getting out there and working anymore.
It can be kind of tough.
Don't get me wrong.
Well, the stuff you have to do. I mean, like the grass is this tall. I will go outside now, but
weed eat like once every few months. I don't have a ton of grass. This is a rent house too, so I don't put too much work into it.
Oh, I got you. Well, hey man, it's perfect time to move. Then it's a rent house.
We got a house across the street that's we're trying to buy right now.
Oh, nice. Well, good luck with
across
that.
The street. Yeah.
Will that be like the first home buy or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really great. Man.
HVAC paid for it,
Oh, you can make one of those memes. Nothing's better than memes, man.
Yeah.
Memes are great.
Be like all those union money guys.
Hey, I'm going to let me check the chat real quick here. Let's see. Hamilton's going to explain those lights.
Yeah, I think those
And-
just those really low profile LED lights is what he's talking about.
Is that what it is? Like they look like cans,
Yeah,
but they're not cans?
Right. Well, I think so. I think that's what he's talking about. It's very thin.
Well, he said he'd send me a picture. Okay, Hamilton, send me a picture. You got my number. You can text me, right? I'm pretty sure. You probably do. It's like on the screen somewhere, probably. And Beaver's saying, why isn't Zach sponsored by Roby yet? You are single-handedly keeping the company afloat. That's what I'm talking about, Beaver. They should, I have sponsors out there. You guys are aware of them, but Roby, that's the one that really belongs.
Here you go, Zach.
Let me see that I can bring that up for you. Let's see what you got there.
Yeah, wafer lights.
Oh, well done, Bemko.
Very, very thin lights.
That is the things I saw
Look
at
how
Lowe's.
thin.
Yeah, they're not
Not
that
very
expensive,
expensive
too. Yeah. Hey, look at it. Hey, we're both thinking the same thing. How cheap can we get a lighting system? And the
Yeah.
cans, I got to start thinking about, like, Eric Kaiser comes on this show a couple weeks ago. He's like, yeah, if you have this ridge vent, you're going to get drafts up through the house into the attic out the ridge vent. It's like, I have a ridge vent. I just put one in. So I got to make sure I don't have a bunch of air holes around all my stuff. I'm going to be real anal about it, just like caulking
you
everything in the whole building.
Why don't you just spray foam the whole thing?
Well, see, that goes back to that how much of the lights. We got to keep that budget low. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to use bad insulation, Oh, man. Because Hamilton's saying you can be OCD about placement, which is good because right there in the center, like I like stuff centered. It's got to be centered. And there's a beam down the center. It says, like, if you have, like, a regular light, you can't really put it in there. But
they're like the thickness of sheetrock, so,
yeah, but I can do it now.
Put them wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to talk about this on the show tonight. The wafer lights. Oh man. Well, I was gonna say, because your son came in there, we took our break. So let's talk about, like, coming up. You didn't go to trade school.
Nope.
So if one of your kids comes to you in a few years and says, I want to follow in your footsteps, go into the trade, would that be a positive or negative to you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be cool. I
there's
would feel
a lot changing
somewhat
about
honored,
Oh, yeah, because, like, following in Dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be a residential tech, Dad.
I mean, yeah, that's not like my dream for him to do or anything, but if he wants to do that, I'll support him for sure.
You want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or
I don't
something?
have a dream for him. He can do whatever he wants.
He's
I'll
young.
just support him. Whatever he wants. Probably wants to play video games all day.
Well, yeah, I think that's what my son does. He wants to go to video game college and then make video games, which is actually the same thing I wanted to do, except it was Nintendo games at the time.
Yeah, super
so
cool.
I guess it would be awesome. Still, if I got that job offer, I may have to go after it. But the tide's changing as far as how people look at college and stuff like that. So my kids have been pressed to go to college. My son's going to go to college because he wants to go to West Point. He wants to be in the military.
Cool.
And then the other kids are going to be pressed to go to college too. Are you going to press your sons to go to college, or if they come along and say, I'm just going to go out and get a job? How would you feel about that? I know it's early in the ball game here.
Yeah, I know. I get you. But no, it's a valid question. Yeah, just honestly, whatever they want to do, as long as they have a plan, and goals, then I'm fine with it. Whichever way they want to go,
To me,
try it.
it's
If
like,
they don't like it, they can try a different way. Because I tried college. It was not for me.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, college is
did
in, like,
one
trade, or
semester.
college is in, like,
No, like
regular college?
College.
Oh, nice. So what were you going to do?
No idea. I was doing basics.
Oh, that sounds
Philosophy,
familiar.
history, math. Yeah. And
Stuff that don't get jobs.
Yeah. But philosophy was my favorite one, of course.
How long did you stay before you were like, did you stay the whole time?
I did one semester, and then I was like, nah.
Hey, at least I did 2 semesters, dude. I left. I was like, I was said, I'm going to major in history. It's like, what are you going to do with that? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like 2 months later, I was in trades, and that's where I've been ever since, It's funny because a lot of the college stuff you get out, it's like, what are you going to do with this?
Right.
I don't know. I just spent or your parents just spent, whichever way it went, like $100,000, $200,000 now for like a regular college. Not to mention I'm going to go to Yale or something. It could be hundreds of thousands of bucks. Why not go to the trades? Man.
There's good money to be had in them.
Yeah, my wife doesn't get that though. She wants to send all the kids to college, and I get it. I don't see them as tradesmen.
I mean,
Yours are young though.
Yeah. Well, I wish I'd have gotten started in it a lot sooner than I did.
Yeah, you would have been like the owner of the whole company, man.
Golly. I don't know if I want to be a company owner. I don't know. Feels like it's a lot of headache.
Yeah, we had a guy in the chat earlier asking. I think he said he left. I was going to get to it later in the show, but he was talking about how to open a company. So, and you didn't mention that as far as like talking about the future and stuff like that. Well, why not? You not want to do it, or are you kind of undecided about it?
I have to be honest with myself. I'm not like very self-motivating, you know.
The punctuality thing I remember.
Well, that's part of it, but being, owner of your own company, you can kind of get away with that. I feel like, be like, hey guys, y'all get there at 7:30, and I'll see y'all later. I got stuff to do. I got to go pick up supplies or go check out another job.
That is exactly what happens.
But,
I'm gonna go pick up the unit, and I'll be there at 10 after you take out the old unit. That's how that goes.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm playing around with it. Get my license one day.
It's tough. I'm looking back at your sheet you sent me. It says punctuality, and another weakness is too honest sometimes. Bemko, you got attitude problems? Is that what the problem is? You got attitude?
No, man. I told a customer one time that something he wanted us to do was like not my forte. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to sit here and try and figure this out on your dime. Like, I have no idea. Okay. I was like, let us come back tomorrow with a senior tech. This doesn't need to be fixed right this second. That's what he told me. And so I was like, well, to save you some money and save us both some time and energy, let's come back. And he was like, yeah, all right, cool. I appreciate that. And then, of course, as soon as I leave, he fired off an email to my service manager, like, how come you guys can't do this or that, and blah, blah, blah. I thought every one of y'all, I expect every one of your guys to be able to handle, whatever it is I throw at them. And I was like, whoa, yeah, okay. And so, yeah. I got told sometimes you don't need to be completely honest.
Well, customers are funny. They want experts no matter what, but they don't want to pay for experts.
This was like a 20-year-old control system that I've never heard or seen anything about in my life, and it was like 4:00 in the afternoon. I was like, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
It's like an abacus.
Your whole top floor is empty anyways. Like, when's the next time someone's going to be in this office? Because the VP's office was up there. And he's like, oh, not for like another month. And I was like, so this can wait. All right.
Oh.
I was
well,
kind of confused.
I don't know. There's like a politics to working in any job, I guess. And you kind of have to toe the line sometimes. I'm with you. Sometimes
it's fine. They don't send me back to that site anymore, and I'm totally okay with that.
Hey, but you're not fired, and you don't have to go back. Hey, mission accomplished, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always tough because I was a one-man company. I kind of had leeway. No one was firing me except for the customer, and they didn't really ever fire me, and I didn't yell at anybody or anything like that. But I was honest and forthcoming with them on a lot of occasions, where I don't think that it would fly in a larger company. Like, I couldn't talk the same way if I worked for somebody else.
Sure.
So, but it wasn't negative. I didn't mean negative in any way. But it's just certain things you don't say.
Straight shooting people, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Don't buy this piece of crap, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Even though we sell them to other people.
Customers love to ask that, like, hey, what's your favorite brand? It's like, dude, they all break down. Pick whichever one sounds coolest to you. It doesn't matter.
Pick the worst one every time. I really can't get enough of these Nordine units. They're nice. They're really nice.
ICP, great.
ICP is great. Bemko, what's the problem?
They are. That's what I'm saying. They're fine.
So you're not a flag carrier for any brand. That's kind of,
no.
What's the point of that? Yeah.
I mean, there's, like, I don't particularly enjoy Carrier all that much, but that's mostly because the tech support side and ordering parts and stuff is a pretty big pain. But
yeah,
other than that, I could care less.
Yeah,
I do enjoy working on Linux with when they have the Prodigy boards in there. Those are nice.
Oh, there's a little, I'm not familiar with commercial, to bear with me a little bit, but I did work on a few of these Linux units. They had this big white controller with all the buttons on it. You can find out what happened. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, those are great.
Hey, look how
you can put them in test mode,
man.
You can put them through test mode. You can engage every motor individually. Make it do whatever you want without having to put jumpers or nothing. It's great. It'll store really alarms nice. And I like them. It'll sit there and tell you return. Well, if they're set up nice, they'll tell you return and supply temps and all kind of other crap. But they're pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. It troubleshot the unit for me. It's like circuit 4 pressure low. It's like, okay, let me just go over to circuit 4. There is no pressure, so that's just definitely low. There's a big hole in the liquid line. Yeah. But it was just really cool to be able to walk up to a unit and have it just point you exactly where the problem was right off the bat. That's nice. I also felt a little overwhelmed because, I came from a world that didn't have any of that stuff. So even though it's like user friendly and you can actually cut a lot of time out of troubleshooting, it's intimidating to someone like me. But I guess to you, you see them a lot, so it's like, this thing is great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. The first time or two or three that I saw those, I was like, I can't remember how to work this thing. But yeah, once you see them enough, they're great. Yeah.
It's just, I think it's across the board intimidation when you see certain things. I've talked about it before. I try to be forthcoming about it because I've been around for a long time. And, like when I see mini splits, I'm still like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to call somebody? Because, every time you see one, it's like they're different. And it's like you troubleshoot unless you've like been trained on that particular mini split. You may have to call somebody. And I hate that. I really do hate it.
Or unless you have, a laptop you can plug into it, you're a lot of times out of luck. That's the first thing I did when I go to a mini split call. What brand is it? Oh, okay, yeah. Let me get on tech support real quick. And while I'm on hold, I'll do my basic checks. Is it on?
Bing. Yeah.
Is it calling? Do I hear a compressor running? Do I see anything burnt on any of the boards? Do I see lights?
That's what I hope for. I hope for old-fashioned air conditioner problems when I go to something like that. I hope that I'm going to walk up and it's going to be, it's low on refrigerant. Familiar with that problem. I don't want to see a whole bunch of blinking lights where it says thermistor 7 out of range or something like that. I don't want to deal with the Mr. 7 being out of range. I just want like a low refrigerant or like the fan motor's bad. And I don't even want that because it's going to be some kind of weird fan motor that's not in stock anyway.
Yeah. That one I called Blue on about, it ended up being a discharge temperature thermistor was bad. Yeah.
And it's not really that bad. It's like testing a thermistor.
$20
it's like,
part.
Yeah, and it's not hard to test them, really. I mean, it's just ohms and, air temperature and just comparing. It's like, it's not bad. But for some reason, it's like all the little wires everywhere. It's like, oh, no, man.
So after Blue On and I couldn't get anywhere with it that day, we did decipher. We thought, what the blinking code was. There's, 2 LEDs and they blink a certain number of times. And we were like, okay, well, 2 on that one and 3 on this one. That must mean this is code 23, which means this. Well, we were wrong. And I found that out talking to LG tech support the next day. They told me what the code really was and that it was that, discharge temp thermistor problem. And, here, order a new one, blah, blah, blah. But to confirm that's the problem and it's not the board or anything else, you need to make sure you have those needle probes for your meter. I don't have those, but the really tiny the needles, the super thin ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've never had to use those before. Anyway, went and bought some, went back out there, start poking around, and they're not even small enough to get to the pins and the plug. I was like, what, just order a new one, dude. We'll just pray it's not the board.
Well, what's funny is that I was troubleshooting a mini split one time. And this is just a little residential one, like the one you had showed on Instagram, like the little head and then a condenser outside, just 1-to-1. I walk up and it wasn't doing anything. And I look at the board, and the board had a fault code on it. And I looked at they had like a whole, I forget what it's called. Actually, I can't remember what it's called. When a map key, that sort of thing of all the different fault codes.
Like a legend, yeah.
Legend. That is what I was trying to get to there. I was thinking ledger. No, that's not right. Legend. So I found the fault code and it said main control board bad. I said, okay, easy enough. The main control board's bad. But the main control board's what's telling me the code. So I'm filled with doubt. I'm supposed to trust the board that's potentially bad to tell me the problem?
To tell you it's bad, yeah.
It was the board, and it was fine. But it's just, that's where my mind comes from. It's like, I'm supposed to trust these electronics. I don't think so.
Yeah, I do the same thing though, because it's one thing I think all of us hate is callbacks or the possibility of a callback. I don't, and nobody wants to be a parts changer, right? I know I don't. So if I have a diagnosis, I want to confirm it like for sure before I go ordering parts or changing anything out, anything like that. I try and confirm it. So that's why I get on with tech support a lot of times and be like, I'm pretty sure it's this board, but Can you like, and they'll tell you, be like, all right, well, you should have this resistance between here and here and here and there and this and that. And they're like, oh, yep, board's bad. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Tech
Feel a
support is
lot
good.
better.
Tech support's nice. I think about, what a Venn diagram is, where all the little circles intersect. And like you have a certain array of knowledge, but you can't really study. Like I couldn't study a specific mini split brand and become proficient with them if I see them once every 5 years. Right. So that's where tech support, I think, it fills in the blanks right there. That's a good thing. I always had a hard time calling tech support. It's like, well, let me go ahead and admit failure and call them.
No, it doesn't mean you're failed.
No, because they saw the problem. It's like, well, without the alternative is never solving the problem.
Gotta fix it somehow. You can't be expected to know it all.
They paid me, not tech support.
Yeah, to be on the phone talking to some guy who fixed it for you. It's awesome.
Yeah, who never got mentioned to the customer. How'd you fix it? Oh, I know stuff, bro. I know stuff. Where's the $300? Yeah, that's nice since you were here for 5 hours. I'm thinking to myself, 4 of those hours were me confused outside. I'm not charging you for that.
Yeah, it was 1 until hour 3 that I called.
Yeah. When my pride had totally dissipated and I called. Yeah. Speaking of that, do you guys have like big VRF stuff you service? Like, you know how they Daikin and their mini tubes everywhere and stuff?
It's not really prevalent here in San Antonio. A lot of it up in Austin, from what I hear, which I'm sure. But I know it's mostly on new construction here in town, but we don't do that down here, so we don't get to see it very often. I mean, a couple multi-zone stuff here and there, but no, not like big high-rise VRFs, no.
Oh,
or big office buildings with it.
So is that something that you would like to learn more about, or wait to see what happens with?
No, I'm going to learn more about it, because, I mean, that's where everything's going to go anyway.
That's perfect, Bemko, because in a couple, 3-4 weeks from now, Jose De La Portilla is going to be on this show, and we're going to talk about VRF.
Good.
Set that up nicely. Now all I got to do is call him and let him know he's going to be on the show. I'm just kidding. It's been decided beforehand. We're not that lax around here. We do have, just speaking of that, Jose's coming up. I'm going to get Eric Kaiser to do part 2. We did like a troubleshooting and charging, and we never got to what I call service charging, which is like after the commission, when you come to a unit and you have to charge it, but you don't know any of the commission details.
Oh,
like
God.
You're coming in later.
Nobody wrote anything in on that factory, like field charge, additional refrigerant added.
There's nothing written anywhere. Yeah, you got to kind of start with nothing. So I want to get like that. So a show on that, because it's kind of cool to kind of have to get in there and figure things out. But it's a totally different procedure in my mind than just commissioning.
when you're like walking through a warehouse, like trying to pace off the line set length above your head. Like,
yeah.
What was that, about 10 paces? Okay.
Yeah. Which unit is it up here?
Yeah.
Let me turn it on.
Right one.
Turn it on now, man. Yeah, I hear it. Let me go find it. Yeah.
Jeez.
We have Bluetooth tools now. We don't need that. And we have another San Antonio person in the chat. He's very excited about being from San Antonio. It's pretty cool.
Mike Hamby, Canyon Lake.
Hey, Mike Hamby might be from Canyon Lake. That's where you're from. You guys should go barbecue to, was it tomorrow? Yeah, it's tomorrow. It's a lot of forward, man. Barbecue. God bless America.
I know a Lindsay Hamby. Wonder if they're related.
We're going to find out now. Wouldn't that be wild to YouTube
really
chat? That's why he's here. He's not usually here. He comes in from time to time, but he hasn't been here in a while. He's here because he knows you're his neighbor. This is weird. This is strange. It's like a Lifetime movie. He's going to be outside your house when we're done.
I don't know what Carson Creek is, but anyway.
Well, just Carson Daly. All right. That's okay. He's older now. Well, that's about as much as I had here on my random piece of paper. I'm gonna turn it over to you. Is there anything you want to talk about before we go?
No, I mean, just hanging out, really.
Hanging out. Hey, hanging out is kind of fun because that's like last little bit was just hanging out. Okay, let me ask you this: what are you doing next week? What do you got coming up?
I think I got to go back down to the coast to work on one of those oil field sites. I've got to finish some annual PMs out there.
You wrote down, speaking of this paper, you wrote down that your least favorite part is the PMs.
Yeah, PMs get old, man. I really enjoy service, doing repairs and whatnot. But, can't win them all. We're not big enough to have like a whole PM crew, so we all do PMs. Everybody.
Spread the awfulness around to each person there. I dig it.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. See,
What was
Hamby
I gonna-
says because he was on before in a high rise. Yes, he was. He was there with the
with
his
Doug.
coworker. Yeah, with Doug.
Hot diggity Doug.
That's right. So what was it? What was that job? You were there in the high rise. Do you remember what job you were on?
Yeah, so we were there to install supplemental cooling in some server rooms where they had some Liebert mini mates. They were chill water. And what was happening is during the off hours, like outside of business hours at night, and I think on the weekends too. But anyway, during the nighttime hours, they either slow down or shut off the chill water supply. So the server rooms were just getting hot. So we were hanging mini splits in there
Mini
to
split
help
strike
out.
again.
Yeah, we hung the condensers like in the office space. It's kind of weird.
Like
Just
above the ceiling?
like above somebody's desk.
Like in the space?
Yeah.
That's wild.
It
Hey,
is pretty
it's just moving heat,
interesting.
right? You just got to move it from the server room out to the office as long as the
Yeah.
office is cooled sufficiently. It's right. Oh,
I
man.
was trying to see if I had pictures of it.
Oh, man. Do you have an Instagram of it? And I'm going to put that up in the
I'm
chat
looking.
again. Your handle on Instagram is
Like 87
Frylock87.
HVAC.
I'm going to put the link. This is the desktop link, but it might prompt you to get the app or whatever if you're on your phone, but you can find him by his name, too. It's pretty easy to find. There it is.
I just remember that job. There was, I remember seeing some guy's desk and the name tag is so funny, but I feel bad like making fun of him because it's his name. You can't help it. But it was Manicanta Doo-Doo. But if you say it right, it was like, man, I can't Doo-Doo.
Manicanta Doo-Doo. Man,
Yes.
I hope that's from a foreign country where they
I'm
don't
sure
know how it
was,
sounds.
which is why I felt even worse. I was like, God, bad person.
It better be Central African, because that's the only people that would not be aware that was just a joke.
Yeah. She's like, why are you laughing at me all the time?
Well, Bemko, you're on Instagram. I put your Instagram handle up there. Is there any other social medias that you're on that you want to mention? Because you are somewhat of how the people say influencer. You're on Instagram. You put pictures up. You influence
ghost
the
now.
trade. You're a
I'm
ghost. Take a break. You know, you got to take a break from this stuff
Ghosting
every now and
everybody
then.
right now.
Now, well, you're on the show. You're not ghosting everybody. You know, here you are.
That's true. This is true.
Partial non-ghosting. So is Instagram it?
Yeah, that's really all I mess with. I don't have time for all that other stuff. I try and work more than hold my phone at work.
Yeah, I know. I'm on
I
45
don't know how
different social medias.
I don't know how some of these guys do it, man. Like posting all the time, multiple times a day and stuff. It's wild.
My goal is, and really it's promotion related, like get the podcast, get the Shop Talk brand, whatever you want to call it. So I try to do one on each social media a day. And a lot of times it's the same one. I guess it's not very creative. I just spread it across. I figured there's different people.
Put it on every platform.
Hey, but as I was told, I think it was Beaver told me that, so it's like, I've seen your wasp video like 7 times. It's like, yeah, I put it on every possible place. So, well, so I guess that might not be the best way to do it. But I don't know how people would have the time to do like a specific thing on each one. That would take like half the day just for that, you know? That can't happen.
It's all fun though. I've met a lot of cool people through it, so, and learned a lot of cool tricks and tips and stuff like that. Gotten cool shirts.
Hey, solder weld, nice. You get an orange cylinder with a bunch of different brazing rods in it.
Yeah, but I had to pay for that.
Oh, man, what the world? What kind of influencer has to pay for brazing rods?
Yeah, I bought that and I posted about it, and they sent me hats.
Hats.
I didn't pay for it. Okay,
Good.
look, the company
Good
bought
grief.
it. It's fine. You
Hold on
truck
a
stock
second.
stuff, and it's no big deal.
Wait a second. This can't stand. Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Let me see if I got autofill on my
Golly.
email. Nope, not on that one. Hold on a second. We're gonna do something fun if I can think about it. Let's see.
All right.
You probably won't
Well,
even remember who I am.
While you're looking, I know I mentioned some 300-ton package units earlier, so I wanted to.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think this is the one. Anyways, did a compressor change out. That's to wait, am I not sharing it right?
Oh no, I gotta bring it up. There you go.
Ah, something B. All right. So yeah, they have So 300 ton, that's 6 50-ton circuits. Each circuit's 2 25-ton tandem compressors. There's one of the dryers.
Holy crap! Look at the size of the dryer.
Oh yeah, vacuum game is on point. So I tried to kind of catch the scale of the unit, but anyway. Oh, I left it on a vacuum all weekend long, and when I came back on Monday, that's the 12 CFM Navac pump. I got 3 of the True Blue hoses hooked up to it. Oh, son of a... Come on.
Going
There
to
it
the
is.
next one. Oh, nice. 50.
All the way down to 50. It was a great little deal there. I was really happy with that, although they didn't really show the units very good.
You showed the huge dryer and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. That repair was awesome. It turned out great. This is like the 3rd time it leaked.
So what happened to it?
Just vibration, man. That's that's the header where the hot gas comes in to the condenser coil on this particular unit. I think I made a sweet GIF.
Oh, I like it. Look at that. GIF game is on point. Wait, did you braze that on like a plate on the front of it?
Yes.
Oh, man, look at that. Okay, why? Okay, I'm going to describe this because people listen to this as a podcast too. All right, he's showing like a T that goes into a condenser, the hot gas from the compressor. Yeah, and it's like has a rub through on the outside of the T, and he's cut like half the T off like a different piece and put it on there.
Hot dog style.
So why did you just like change like the whole T? I'm just curious. I'm sure it worked fine. I'm not saying anything.
No way. Have you see all this stuff? Okay, because on the backside of the T, remember that's a hot gas header. So there's little tubes, feeder tubes that go into that coil. So I can't just cut that thing out. It's just not. No, I would definitely try this before I ever replace that. I'd ever replace the coil before I tried this to replace that part. Hell no.
It must be pretty difficult to reach. Hey, go back to the last picture with the hole in it, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah. Where'd you go?
Did you try to turd it up on top of that hole?
I tried twice already to turd it up.
Yeah.
Before it leaked again this time, and I was like, "Yeah, that's not working."
Oh man, yeah. I think. See, it's so clean looking. Like you'd like gone to town trying to clean that thing off.
Yes. Yeah,
Man.
I had to clean off all my old solder.
I like the creativity though, man. That's pretty cool.
It worked.
To think of
and
doing
it's
it.
Still holding.
Man, I like that. Man, I wish some chat guys would come on here like, well, that's neat. They're either going to be like, oh, this is the best, or what is this guy doing?
So then I added a cush clamp and some unistrut to keep it from jiggling.
Well, man,
because it's got vibration absorbers on it, but it's way on the other side of the unit on the compressor.
Oh man.
This is the one where Blue On helped me with the dirty condenser coil. So it's that big air handler there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the top of this train condenser. Yeah, it's just being that dirty.
Micro channel.
Fuckers.
Mm-hmm. Don't like those, huh? Because they load with dirt so easily?
They do, and they have a tendency to leak and be a big giant pain. Oh, there's a little family.
I wonder, I worked on microchannel evaporators, like some of the units that I put in. Like I put in the air temp unit that's at our local RE Micheal, like the little conference area up above.
Yeah.
And it has a microchannel evaporator. And the way it looks, just like if you look at it, it's like how does water run off this thing as well as with an A coil that's inside of an air handler? It doesn't seem like that would be possible. Doesn't seem good.
It holds it in there really well.
Oh, you got a good compliment out there. Hamby says Micheal has more experience and 6 years would normally reflect. That's pretty good. That's a good compliment.
I will. Yeah. Thank you. I've had good techs to help me out along the way. And one of the other reasons that I left my first company was because of that. They were just keeping me on, helper stuff, not setting me loose very often. And my first week at the company I'm at now, I used my torch more times than I did my whole year and a half at the first company. So that really made me feel, yeah, you made the right move.
That's really good. And when you came up with the T repair, which I like thinking outside the box, I think that's really smart. Did you do that like on your own volition? Like I'm gonna do this and it's gonna work, and like there's none other guy around going, I don't know about that, man. So you had to take a chance to do that, and whatever happened.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Know what we call that? Balls. I like it.
Yeah. Got huge ones. but it worked, and if it didn't work, then I don't know. I would have just replaced that coil. I promise. That's all. That's the only other thing I could have done.
I totally understand that. Some of the valves that I've replaced, it's easier just to get a coil all the way out of the way. And if you're changing all that stuff, put a new coil down instead. So I understand it.
Absolutely right.
Well, you know what, Michael? It's been a fun Bemko, Michael, if you will. But we're going to have to wrap it up. It's after 10 o'clock.
Sounds good to me.
Frankly, I'm getting tired. And
Enjoyed it.
This is a normal time when I lay on the couch and start to slumber off. Actually, that's not true. I stay up at like 2 a.m. I'm just kidding. But after a while, we have to make the podcast and do all the other stuff. So, you understand. Plus, I
appreciate you having me on, man. It was fun.
I start drinking now. Oh, what? I'm just kidding.
What?
Yeah. I haven't drank in like 15 years. I haven't drank anything. If I drank one beer right now, I would probably be outside in the lawn going, that's a pretty star. I'm sure that's what would happen.
Are people popping off fireworks around your house yet?
No. Oddly enough, I'm in the middle of nowhere. As Beaver would say, who's in the chat right there, I call his town Chicken Spoke. It's in Georgia. There's like 5 dogs there that make up most of the population. And we call mine Chicken Spoke, North Carolina. There's nothing here. We have some fireworks at the local rescue squad, but I'm too far away to hear them. But I'm sure tomorrow we'll be hearing pop, pop, pop. Because I'm going to the beach tomorrow, so we'll be hearing it.
I can already hear them going off around me.
Oh, man. Do you live in like the subdivision or something?
No. Just the lake. Dude, it's really weird out here. Like, there's such a mix of incomes and different types of people. There's people retire here, people that grew up here, and people that work and live here. So you'll have like very nice gated communities on one side of the street, and then you'll have like a place, maybe what's his name's heard of him, mobile home estates, like right across the road.
I know what you're talking about. Hey, there's a wide variety and quality in that area, so it gets it goes from it's nice. It's like nice mobile homes that are new, nice clean cut grass, and then you go to the other side, and you have the crystal meth factory. And there's like 8 trailers, and they're from the 70s. And my friend used to live in one like that. We like step through the floor periodically. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We've had several like blow up or burn down.
Crystal meth factory.
It's also known as Meth City. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's where the meth comes from. They come from trailers. It's the New Jack City of meth. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go play with your family. Go throw those kids around, and I really appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me, Zach.
Hey, we're gonna do this again. We'll bring you back. Now that you've broken the ice here, so in a non-hangout environment. Hangouts are very different. Than being the focus of an interview. I realize. So we'll bring you back in a few months, and you could update us on your life and whether you got to go across the road and live.
I'll live to tell about it. Sounds good.
Live to tell about it. I'm sure you will. But just thanks, man. I appreciate it, and I'm going to start wrapping this sucker up.
See you next time.
All right, take care, man. That is our buddy Michael Bemko. Good old Bemko, Mike, whatever you want to call him. Texas. You can call him whatever you want. On my phone, it says Mike from Texas. So I should have remembered he's from Texas. If it's actually the contact is Texas there. All right, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to take a little break here real quick. We'll come back with some parting words. And let me see what I have planned here. Oh, look. There's my plan. Hey, that's what it looks like when you're crazy. I'm just kidding. But we're going to come back in just a minute, and we'll finish off this show. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Appreciate you watching tonight. Let's see. I see my name in orange over here. Is there an equivalent to all data for automotive But for HVAC, All Data has all the OEM service manuals and repair troubleshooting stuff on one site. I don't know if there is something consolidated like that. I know that there's been some apps that come along for your phone that'll consolidate certain groups of the trade, like thermostats. And I don't remember the name of it, but there is one. It might be like RTFM, something like that, where for thermostats that have like all the different install manuals. Man, I don't know if there's one that has all that stuff. A lot of times, like Bemko was mentioning on the show, if I had an issue with a certain unit or I needed like part information, I would just take, and I think someone else has mentioned this, it might have been Dave Richardson or Eric Kaiser, like the first 4 or 5 letters of the model number and just Google them, and usually you find it. I Google it and I put PDF behind it, and usually that brings up the manual. So Mike did a good job. Beaver, talk about the firearms. Good times. Beaver's my counterpart on our Men with Issues show, which is our Bible study. You guys like the Bible? Man, I do. It's all right. We just recorded a really good one today. Talking about Romans 14, man. Pretty good. Don't pass judgment. It's good for HVAC, too. For your work environment, don't pass judgment. It applies to everything, guys. Romans 14, go read it. Live it. Love it. That's what I would suggest out there, guys. So I want to thank Mike again. Thank you guys in the chat. If you will, leave a thumbs up on the video. I'd appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to listen to this while you're on the road, you can always do so as a podcast. It'll be released the middle of next week, probably on Wednesday. I am going out of town next week to go to Virginia Tech. My son's visiting Virginia Tech as a possible place going to college, and which is great because I'm going to visit Curtis Bowers. You guys have seen him on the show before. Curtis is a lot of fun, and he actually lives right there at Virginia Tech. It'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully, I don't know if because usually whenever I meet people out there, like I met Chuck Pierce, and I don't usually put him through like an interview because we're just hanging out like buddies. So I don't know if there's going to be any interviews like with Curtis on site or anything like that because I don't know. It seems like, that's not the proper time. Probably is a good idea, but I just kind of like to have fun and hang out with them while we have that time because there's not a whole lot of time to do that sort of thing. Also, if any of you are in the Charlestown area, I'll be going to Charleston in August to visit the Citadel. So, in case you haven't figured it out, my son wants to be in the military. He's going to a military college, and West Point, the Air Force Academy, Virginia Tech, and the Citadel are on his list. So we're trying to visit as many of those as we can. So have a lot of fun. And yes, I like Chuck. Easy Heat Cooling says, I like Chuck. Absolutely. And let's see, praise the Lord and pass ammunition. Well, I think that's probably one of the mottos for our Men with Issues show, I would think there, Beaver. Yeah, look, I didn't even read it. Underneath Beaver says, correct, Mike. Oh, man. I should read something, though. We should read our parting words. We always have our biblical words here, guys, that I think are very important. I haven't selected any for today. We did our show earlier, and you know what? I'd always try to find something that I think is going to help you as tradesmen as well to kind of tie the two together. But, that passage from Romans might be good enough, I think, to tie it together. And so I'm going to read something here. Yep, here we go. I'm just going to read the over opinions. One person believes he may eat anything, while a weak person eats only vegetables. Let not the one who eats despise the one who abstains, and let not the one who abstains pass judgment on the one who eats, for God has welcomed him. What are you to pass judgment on the servant of another? It is before his own master that he stands or falls, and he will be upheld, for the Lord is able to make him stand. Now, if we apply that to HVAC, and in the Bible here, we're talking about passing judgment. There's no qualified judge except for the Lord himself. And you can translate that into improving your work environment if you want to apply it that way. Because if you're quarreling over the little things, nitpicking over little things, it's not really beneficial. Because we're all servants in a company. If you're with your other techs, you're all servants of a different master. Now, the Lord is the master, of course, the ultimate master. But for the analogy's purposes, you could say that the customer or your boss is the master, and you're all working for him. You're all working together, and these kind of infighting and things like that, that never helps. That never helps, guys. But, of course, I'm always going to ask that you look a little bit further and maybe read a little bit more. I think that'll help you just like it helped me. And, guys, I think that's enough for today. I want to thank you for watching the show. And I see we have like a little notification here that it's having an issue on the broadcaster. Hopefully you guys can see me, and I will see you on the next one.